Good afternoon. The Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, North Carolina Turnpike Authority, and our local municipalities welcome you to the public information session regarding US 1 tolling options for the conversion of US 1 from I-540 to Purnell-Harris Roads to a freeway. If you have not already, please take the opportunity to take our online survey and let us know your thoughts. What is the US 1 project? The US 1 project, also known by its NCDOT project ID U5307 segments A, B, C, and D, is a project to convert US 1 to a limited access freeway. This is a road that does not have direct access from local roads and property. This project also includes in its scope and budget the construction of service roads along the corridor that will provide the access to those properties that lose the direct access to US 1 due to conversion. So how did we get here? This project to convert US 1 to a limited access freeway has been planned for many years. The 2025 Long Range Transportation Plan, adopted by the region in 2001, highlighted US 1 as an extremely important corridor that was in need of upgrade quickly to handle the current and future traffic. Following that plan, in 2006, the US 1 corridor study was conducted to create the preliminary design for how this road might look. In 2007, the local municipalities, Campo and NCDOT, formed the US 1 Council of Planning, an ad hoc advisory council for local planning decisions. Over the past nearly 20 years, the council has reviewed and worked with nearly 100 developments along the corridor to help preserve right-of-way, ensure development designs were inconsistent with the US 1 corridor study, and inform the developers of the future project. In 2012, the project had its first break when it was first programmed in the State Transportation Improvement Program, the budget the state uses to pay for road projects. However, since then, cost increase and project delays have led us to being no closer to having this project constructed than we were in 2012. As such, local officials directed Campo to work with NC Turnpike Authority to investigate alternative methods to fund the US 1 upgrades. The cost increases and delays took this project from an original budget of $93 million with an expected completion date by 2023 for the first sections to today, where the draft state transportation budget, expected to be approved in June, shows a cost of $1.34 billion with a project completion date sometime after 2035. Part of the cost increase was when the project was expanded to include Segment D, from NC 98 to Purnell-Harris Road, but most of the increase is from the increased cost of right-of-way and construction cost. Due to the repeated project delays and uncertainty when the project could be completed, Campo requested North Carolina Turnpike Authority to investigate this corridor as a potential tolling project. NC Turnpike Authority analyzed the four scenarios shown here. In the four scenarios, the differences between being an expressway or an express lane project, along with whether they are included in the Triangle Expressway system, led each project to having different trade-offs. These trade-offs include the level of legislative change needed for the project to move forward, the availability of financing for the project, the estimated project completion date, and the toll rate type. We will go into more details on what these options mean to the projects in the next few slides. An expressway project would be very similar in scope to NC 540 in western and southern Wake County. A fixed electronic toll with a posted speed limit of 65 miles per hour. All intersections and driveways would be removed, and these would be routed as part of the project to either an interchange at Durant Road and Perry Creek Road, Burlington Mills Road, the Falls of Noose Road, NC 98, Durham Road, and Purnell-Harris Road, or a service road that is constructed as part of this project. All service roads constructed would be public roads and not tolled. The design of the expressway scenarios would include all 4 lanes being tolled. Service roads, the green lines indicated by this design, would be constructed as part of the project to provide access to the properties that would lose direct access to US 1. These service roads would remain public roads without tolls. In an express lane scenario, similarly to I-77 in Charlotte, would construct a single toll lane along the US 1 corridor. This lane would be separated from the general purpose lanes. The separation would require an additional right-of-way and a wider road, which leads to this option's higher cost. This project upgrades the corridor to a freeway, removing all intersections and driveways along the corridor. These accesses would be rerouted to new interchanges in the same locations as the expressway scenario, and the new and existing service roads constructed as part of this project. Tolls for express lane options would operate dynamically, meaning that they would change depending on congestion. The higher the congestion at the time, the higher the toll would cost. The express lane design would include 3 general purpose lanes. These lanes are not tolled on the outside of the road, and then 1 tolled lane that would be separated from the rest of traffic on the inside lanes. These can be highlighted in the red lines on this diagram. There would be several areas indicated in the diagonal red lines on this diagram that would allow for the entry to the toll roads. The service roads shown in green would be constructed as part of this project and remain public use roads without a toll. In scenarios 2 and scenario 4, these scenarios revolve around whether the US 1 corridor project is included as part of the larger Triangle Expressway system. This is the financial vehicle of NC 540. Being part of this system would allow NC Turnpike Authority to increase the possible financing to further this project more expeditiously. The inclusion of the Triangle Expressway system is currently prevented by North Carolina General Statute 13689.188, Section A, which requires tolling systems to be connected to each other to be part of the same financial vehicle. To move forward with either of these scenarios, it would require legislative action to allow the use of revenue. For the expressway options, it is assumed that not all traffic would take US 1 and would instead utilize the alternative routes. This may include roads like Falls of Noose Road, US 401, and Lincoln Mills. As part of the study, an analysis was performed to determine the level of impact a tolled route could have on local routes compared to a toll-free route, as well as what would happen if upgrades to US 1 were to never happen, also known as the no-build option. This analysis looked at the forecasted conditions in 2040 based on the anticipated growth and development according to local plans. This analysis shows that in the case of a tolled structure, local roads will not exceed their planned capacities, and with less than a minute of increased travel time added compared to a non-tolled US 1 with upgrades. When compared to a no-build situation, a tolled route performs similarly on other local roads for traffic congestion. So what are the next steps? This public comment period will be used to help determine the next steps. In North Carolina, the decision for tolling a road is a local decision. NC DOT and NC Turnpike Authority cannot proceed with a toll project without local approval. The Campo Executive Board will meet on their May 21st meeting to review the results from this public comment period and deliberate on the next steps for the region. The region can stay the course and go without tolls, which may have construction starting in 2031 and completion sometimes after 2035, or pursue tolling, which may see project completion as early as 2033. If pursuing tolling is decided, there are still several steps and opportunities for further public engagement before any project starts. Thank you for attending today and giving our team your feedback regarding the tolling options for the US1 upgrades. If you have any questions, please let us know. The deadline for public comment is May 14th. North Carolina.